Hi guys, it's Joe and you're watching Phone House Online. So here it is, the big one, as Samsung release their brand new flagship phone, the Galaxy S6. Now the company are expecting sales of around 70 million units worldwide, and with Apple rumoured to be releasing a new handset in the autumn, let's see if we really can believe the hype. So let's begin with design, and from the front the S6 doesn't look too different to the S5, but while the design hasn't changed, the materials have gone upmarket. Switching to metal from plastic and introducing a glass back helps to give the new handset a proper flagship feel, although inevitably all that glass does get a bit mucky. Still, there's no way of disguising the camera lens which pokes out the back of the chassis. It does feel light in the hand though at 138 grams, but doesn't feel especially fragile given that. Onto one of its biggest features, and it has a stunning 5.1 inch Super AMOLED screen with a resolution of 2560 by 1440 pixels. Yep, you heard me right, that means a stupendous 576 pixels per inch. In comparison, the iPhone 6 packs 1334 by 750 pixels into a 4.7 inch screen, which gives it 326 ppi. Basically, what this means is that Samsung have created pretty much the best screen on any smartphone. Elsewhere, although the S6 is not the first Galaxy to have a fingerprint sensor, the implementation here actually works. The sensor took perhaps 30 seconds to enroll each finger and has performed well and unlocked the majority of cases on the first attempt. If you're switching from the iPhone, the capacitive buttons at the bottom of the screen for recently used apps and a back button will seem a little bit odd at first, but do become very, very handy. Now let's move on to cameras, and this is one of the big selling points of the S6. Now we already mentioned the camera juts out the back of the handset. That is the 16 megapixel main camera. It's one of the phone's standout elements, and to put it simply, it's as good as most standalone digital cameras that you're going to go and buy. Say you're going on holiday, you wanted to do some photography, it's as good as that on its own. It's fast to open as well. Samsung reckons you can launch it in about 0.7 seconds and delivers great images with a limited amount of fuss. It's simple to use, but has absolutely incredible quality. When you partner this up with the screen and its ridiculous PPI, the resolution, it just looks absolutely amazing. This really is one of the big selling points of this phone. You basically get a top-end digital camera inside a computer. Pretty good. A neat touch as well is that the heart rate sensor on the back of the phone doubles as a button for taking selfies with the 5 megapixel front camera. Moving on to video as well, it also shoots video in a number of frame rates depending on where you intend your masterpiece to be displayed. So you'll get 2160p at 30 frames per second, 1080p at 60 frames per second, 720p at 120 frames per second, all options, plus more depending on where you intend to display the video. And again, because of the resolution of that screen and also the fast processor speeds, it looks absolutely stunning when you watch your video back. Okay, so let's take a look under the bonnet at the important stuff and the power and performance of the S6. It runs on Android 5.0 Lollipop. It's relatively easy to minimize apps and features you don't want to use, although it does feel a bit OTT if you're used to iOS. The really important thing, however, and what makes this phone so revolutionary, is the performance. That comes from an octa-core processor. Now 4 of those cores are 1.5 gigahertz and another 4 are 2.1 gigahertz. When you pair that with the 3 gigabytes of RAM, then you're looking at specs which outstrip the MacBook Air 2. So what we're saying is that a mobile phone that you carry around in your pocket is more powerful than one of the most premium sought-after laptops available on the market. Pretty impressive stuff. You can see this power when you're gaming, for example. There will be no lag, no struggle with frame rate, anything like that. It feels like playing on a home console. Equally, when you're using the multi-window option where you can juggle apps, for example, finding information online, sending an email, and having 2 apps open at the same time, it's able to do all this high-end stuff because it is basically a computer in a mobile phone. Everything zips along incredibly smoothly and at lightning speed. Really, really impressive. Now, business users will be pleased to know that Microsoft OneDrive and OneNote come on there, plus the standard array of Google apps, meaning if you so choose, it can also be used as a business phone. Now moving on to the battery, and to be honest, this isn't great. It gets through the day, but only just. Now on the plus side, the S6 can recharge fast. Samsung claims up to 1.5 times faster than previous models. So while you might be reaching for the charger a little sooner, you should also be unplugging it again quicker. Samsung claim you get 4 hours of use from just a 10-minute charge. To be honest with you, we have found that this handset absolutely guzzles juice, so we're not sure whether that's going to work in all practicality. Wireless charging is also supported though, which should give you another convenient option to keep the smaller battery life topped up. So as you'd expect, from design to capability, the S6 is every inch the flagship phone. The look is cool and sparing in metal and glass, and it partners up an astonishing screen with an excellent camera, and all the while streamlines the look and feel of the software. Quite simply put, Samsung have created the best Android smartphone so far. So Apple, the ball's in your court.